Integration in the civil rights movement. How did integration affect dark people? First of all, integration has to do with desegregation, which is a process of ending racial segregation. Like desegregation, integration are some types of goals, such as leveling barriers to association, creating equal opportunity no matter the race, and the development of a culture that draws on different traditions. It is like bringing a small group of people from a culture with the majority of the culture together. Integration in the civil rights movement was not good for African Americans. Integration in the civil rights movement was a farce due to the impact education had on African Americans, the assumption on freedom rights, and the put on of voting organization. The civil rights movement was a time of protest where the Big Six, which included Martin Luther King Jr., fought for the civil rights of African Americans. In these times, there was racism against dark-colored skinned people, African Americans. They didn't have the same opportunities and rights as white skin-colored people had. After a couple of protests and speeches, these people were given some rights. Unfortunately, these rights weren't fully rights. African Americans were told that they were able to go to white people's schools. There were 9 kids in Little Rock, Arkansas, who were chosen to go to school because of their high grades. In school, they were bullied and abused. Their first day of school, only one showed up because people told them it was really dangerous for them. Within time, they were either expelled or they dropped out. There were federal troops to prevent this bullying, but white kids still did it. When they were bullied, nobody did anything about it. 1 out of the 9 graduated and they decided to stop integration in schools. Freedom rights was something along the lines. It was a movement started by the Big Six that was about having rights available for African Americans to travel interstate. This included desegregating water fountains, bathroom, bus terminals, and more. It was very dangerous for dark skin colored people. One of the Freedom Ride buses was firebombed. A public safety commissioner gave the Ku Klux Klan the order to beat the Freedom Riders before any police could do anything about it, and they had to make it look like a dog did it. After more freedom rides, they were arrested because of using white-only facilities. Freedom rights was another failure for African American rights. Voting was another supposed right given to dark-skinned colored people. What they didn't know was that there were an organization that made their votes kept off voting rolls. There were so many whites against blacks voting that it caused many beat-ups and even deaths. The COFO, also known as Council of Federate Organization, caused this invalid black voting. As we saw, even though African Americans got some rights, all of the rights idea was fake. They didn't get many rights, they just got more trouble. Even though they got fake rights, they didn't give up. They still fought for their rights, and within a couple of years, they had the opportunity to get the same rights, and they finally got integration with white people. And this was all for integration in the civil rights movement. The end.